Okay. So just thinking,
Get in.
getting in the zone.
In the zone.
In the zone.
Platchums!
So you know what I think is extremely important?
What then?
The fact that I am 41st in Ireland on the PlayStation Profiles leaderboard.
No, do you remember they built the statue of you in your hometown because to mark
Yes.
that occasion?
But there's only 42 statues. They've only 42 have been erected. So
they only had the budget. They only had the budget for the first 40. Like, well, I have Daniel. I am actually number 227 in Ireland. Just saying.
That's very impressive. I think we both have reason to be proud because, as we know, the leaderboard is extremely important.
Oh, so important.
Objectively matters to our lives.
It really does. And unlike some people, we're actually still on the leaderboard.
Ooh. Sorry, no, low blow there.
People are going to be scouring over our accounts trying to find dirt now, just to flag us for that comment.
Oh no, don't say that. Don't say that. Yeah. So, PlayStation Plus leaderboards. Let's have a discussion about them. What do you think? What's your feelings? Do you care at all?
I have legitimately never cared about the leaderboards. I think my biggest competition is with myself. In terms of just trying to push through to get the platinums, and I just have a weird thing where I like looking at my trophies as like a little gaming journal, and like we've discussed it many times on the channel, you know, like I always went for the 100% in games. I know you were the same, so like the trophies are just a little added thing to that. And like even though I've been active on forums, you know, before PSN Profiles, I have, you know, I was actually a member number, what was it? 116.
That's very impressive.
PSN Profiles.
Yes.
So I was around from the big bang essentially of that website. So I've always been active in the community, but the whole leaderboard aspect of it, it never really got involved in that or cared in any way, shape, or form. But you know, on the other hand, I think it's a kind of a cool feature just to compare, you know, where you are to the people around you in terms of like the amount of plats you have in comparison, or if someone at the same points but they've like half the platinums as you, but they just have so many more trophies. Like, or to compare with like friends, you know, like the stats, you know. But I think an awful lot of importance is put on the leaderboards in certain sectors of the community. So in short, ranting aside, I don't really care about the leaderboards on the various websites. I'm more of like the stats guy. You know, I like going in, seeing like, oh my god, I'm really good on a Saturday earning trophies. I like knock that shit out of the park on a Saturday at 9 p.m. I'm at the peak of my powers, man. Or just to see like the rarity of it. And I prefer more like the 100% club, say if we're talking about PSN Profiles, just see how fast someone's platted a game, as opposed to just their overall trophy collection. Because again, I concentrate more on the platinum for certain games than just platinums as like a whole thing where it's just, oh, I've like 1 million platinums. I'd be like, well, what games have you got the platinums in? That's what matters to me. Well, what about you? Speaking of someone who is number 43 in Ireland.
41.
Oh god, sorry. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm
you know, I kind of fluctuate a little bit. There are people like above me and below me that I kind of, you know, have a rivalry with. They don't know that I do, but they, you know, I do.
Oh, but they know. They can sense it. They can feel the hatred from across the island.
We're probably neighbors, you know.
We
don't even know.
Who is this ninja vampire?
Yeah. But so I'll admit that like I'm probably definitely a little bit more into the leaderboard than you are. Now I wouldn't say I'm hugely into the leaderboard or anything, but I do like checking where I am, and I do like, you know, if I drop down a place, I'm like, oh damn it, I wonder how many like how much I need to catch up. But you know, it's kind of a losing battle because you know I'm not going, for example, for bulk flats and things like that, and
Yeah,
the leaderboard on PSNP is
geared
purely
towards
based
that.
on
Yeah,
it's purely based on the PlayStation score. So you know,
the
a plat in
quantity. Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is worth the same as the plat in My Name is Mayo. You know, there's no way around that. So without, you know, compromising the games that I want to play, I'm not going to climb any further than that. It seems to be kind of like naturally where I fall in Ireland.
I'm the same. I think I'm always
yeah.
around 215 to 30. I'm like just fluctuating, as you said. Like
Yeah.
it would be really concentrated effort for me to actually break out of that. That's just my natural place. And like,
Yeah.
who's to say though? Like if I was in the top 50, like who's to say that a Switch wouldn't go off going, I wonder how much further I can
Yeah.
get, like, because you're pretty close. You're like, I think you're the highest you can be with the type of games you'd play. It'd be interesting to see what kind of games the people above you have played. Like, are you literally just a man on his own island, just stuck? You're not gonna like sell out to get push into that like top 40, and then the
There
people
are like
below
a
you.
few good accounts above and below me around that area. There's a few like that I check quite frequently, and they have very good games on there. There are a few accounts on there that are just bulk, you know, just like numbers of plats and stuff. But like I'm definitely not like the only one who's playing good quality games there. There's plenty of people.
The Irish have
But you know,
taste, like we have taste.
once you get up past a certain point, there's just no way around it. You have to
Yeah,
play
yeah.
those games or you're never going to climb. So in that sense, I don't really care about the leaderboard because I know I'm never going to go up higher. I'm probably going to consistently drop as more people get, you know, more games. But I do
I
think it's
think
like a nice
actually,
function.
yeah, I think, sorry to cut you up, but I think actually you kind of hit the nail on the head. I think I did care a bit more when I was higher on the leaderboards.
Yeah.
But also, I
Yeah.
think I cared before just the rake and wave of shovelware shit games kind of ruined it.
Yeah.
Because for me, there's no element of like actual competition or quality or anything, because it's just like, or the top, well, you just assume that they've just played 4 stacks of the same shit games over and over and over again to get to that, so it just becomes meaningless. So that's why I think, like, I was always geared towards just the games themselves, you know, but I think that's why, like, any sort of intrigue or any sort of, I guess, like time I would have put into checking out the leaderboard, which again, admittedly, wasn't that large to begin with. I think that
Yeah.
the rake of Radalika and shit games just ruined any kind of interest I had in the leaderboard or even attempting to go up it. It was so like,
Sure.
if there was a door open there for me to care about it, it got shut fairly closed with that. But
Yeah.
I think the main reason we kind of brought this up though was we watched Guy Ferruski's video
I got flagged on PSN profiles.
on him getting
A
flagged.
very good video, and one that so when I heard about the flag, I'm going to be honest, when I heard about the flag, I was kind of like, oh well, that kind of makes sense because I remember that video, and he was like, oh, a hacker, yay, money, you know, in GTA, and I was like, okay, well, like that is, you know, that is against the rules. But then as I thought about it, I was like, actually, no, that isn't against the rules at all, because I even went on to PSNP, I checked the rules, I checked everything, and it's very clear that he didn't break any rules, at least in my opinion, in my legal opinion. I you know, I think the rules specify, we might pull them up on the screen or whatever, but I think the rules specify that you have to be in like a hack lobby, or you have to like manipulate the game, or through custom firmware or something like that. But like, to me, the situation
was server side.
The situation there was somebody dropped something for him to pick up. They didn't artificially increase his level through a hack. They might have gotten their money through a hack, but they gave him money, and then he leveled up naturally by picking up that money.
From level 48 to 100 in a matter of minutes. I never asked for it, but it definitely saved me hundreds of hours of doing the same repetitive and boring tasks just to reach the same goal, so naturally, I thanked the dude on the video that I made about GTA 5.
You know what I mean? It's the same way, like, as if I went into
Souls.
Demon Souls or Dark Souls and gave you all the weapons, because you didn't get those weapons legitimately, you got them from someone else, and who's to say that that person got those legitimately? You know what I mean? So I feel like that was a bit of a bullshit flag for Joel. I think he should that should definitely be a whitelist game. GTA 5 on the PS3.
Because
I also think
it's just inundated with hackers.
Yeah, like I don't think, like, and he made the point as well that, like, obviously all that it really did was just speed it up. It wasn't like a skill thing either. It wasn't like something that he was never going to get. I feel like those kind of games definitely should get whitelisted. But I think the PSNP cheater removal team are quite static on their position. They don't seem to budge much on their position, and there seems to be a little bit of infighting there as well. Like I was looking, there was a big drama on the Army of Two. I think the second Devil's Cartel game.
Are we a drama channel now? Oh Jesus, the drama! It's like an episode of Neighbours.
But I'll wrap this up. I won't go into the drama, but
do it's juicy, man. I'm curious, or especially in an Army of Two subform of all the games, you know, it's like such a
so random. Basically, what happened was some guy created the servers closed, and some guy created an open source server that people could go on and get this trophy. And the cheater removal team whitelisted the game, but it seemed to be only one person on the cheater removal team that whitelisted it, but everyone else on the team didn't agree. But this person said it's fine, so then loads of people got the trophy in Army of Two. I think it was the second Army of Two game, Army of Two 2, and then they reversed it, and then they banned everyone who got those trophies. Which is really weird.
Dangling a carrot in front of them and then shooting them in the back.
Yeah, so it's a funny one, but like I think to loop it back to what we were talking about, it's interesting like how strict, say, the cheater removal team are, when again it doesn't even really matter. Like, say if you cheat one trophy in Army of Two, like you could have gotten, you know, 5 plats in that time with some rubbish game, you know, for 10 cents. Like,
yeah,
so
like,
does it really matter? Like,
does any of this matter?
Removal team, you know,
what we're talking about just doesn't matter. Yeah, it's a really strange distinction, because I feel like if you're operating on like a hacked, I don't really know what goes into it anyway, but like if you're operating on like I'm assuming like a hacked PS3, and like I'm sure there's software where you can unlock trophies or whatever. Like that is, I think that's objectively a bad, you know, because it's like, well, you're just circumventing the whole reason why you'd even how you'd unlock them. It's just boom, all done. But I feel like with Guy Fruski, it's like he didn't know, and he was very transparent. Like, he's a video of his GTA video talking about it. Like, he just joined the server, and once you join a server, you know, that are operated by, you know, Rockstar, it's kind of up to them to police their own servers, really. And if someone's going to hack it, you're kind of like, I found myself in a hack lobby in the PS3, and I wasn't able to move or defend myself, and they were like invincible. You're just at the mercy of the hacker. So like, if they just drop money in front of you and you just walk into it, or you're like, oh yeah, free money, like, I mean, hands up, I would take that money.
Yeah, I think that was in general a pretty bullshit ban, and we stand in solidarity with Guy Fruski on that.
We stand together strong, a team of trophy hunters, unite in this very important cause. Some might say the most important cause in the world at the moment is definitely this. Nothing else comes close. Justice for Joel.
Justice for Joel. Hashtag justice for Joel. So I suppose we can touch on, and something that I'm going to put out there because it'll make me actually make the video. But there are many other websites that we're going to cover in the video as well.
Yes, the trophy hunting / achievement hunting community is bigger than PSN profiles. You'll be on a leaderboard somewhere, Joel.
Yeah, exactly. And there's there's the thing that's always been requested on PSNP is a rarity leaderboard. And there actually is one. If you go into the leaderboards in PSNP and then just do /rarity, it will actually bring up a rarity leaderboard, which most people don't know about. But it isn't maintained at all. So there's cheaters on it and it's kind of out of date and stuff like that. But other websites do, and we'll go through that in that video, which might even be up at this stage. Possibly.
Who knows?
There's other websites that I love to look at that have rarity leaderboards and have other features other than PSNP. I think ultimately PSNP is the best website because it's got the best interface and it's just the best for like syncing and
it's been around the longest, and it's like the stats are just, it's very accessible, just well laid out, and
as well.
It's literally been unchanged since it launched.
Literally,
literally, it's just the same banner pretty much. It's handy with boosting sessions and gaming sessions tied in with it. Like, it's in terms of ease of access and just overall fame and being known. Like, it is kind of the go-to website for that reason. But there's other ones to complement, supplement, or possibly replace it.
Yeah, so like rarity leaderboards are cool because then we were looking before we started recording at PSNTrophyleaders.com, and that's got a really cool system. And I think True Trophies do the same, where they give points based on rarity per game. And then I suppose that's a way of cutting out and addressing the problem of the bulk games, because you're getting more points for harder games. Which is a great solution, I think, and I really like looking at that one because it feels a little bit better because we were looking at your account in particular, and I think you were 35,000 in the world normally, but then when you look at rarity, you're like 2,500th. So that's like
it's a big leap,
catapulting you, because it looks at the quality of your account rather than just the bulk numbers. So. Like there's huge benefits to that. I think PSNP should definitely implement a rarity leaderboard if they want to, maintain it. But I think there's been more drama there about kind of the
juicy drama
about the how much effort they do actually put into kind of keeping the whole thing going. So yeah, it's an interesting one, I think. But ultimately, at this point in time, I don't care about the leaderboards. I just like looking at, the games that I've completed. And actually, moving on to something slightly different but connected, what's actually much better, in my opinion, than a leaderboard are the trophy mosaics. Which I love. I love those. And I always, I can't wait until I'm on trophy 400 or platinum 400 because I'll have my 20 by 20 square.
Oh yeah, it's a small thing. It's like I'd love to get them all like 3D printed. It'd be cool to have like a magnet board of all like
very cool.
It's the saddest thing I think I've ever said. Just to have like just a mural of all my platinums.
No, I've seen people do something similar on like Reddit, our trophies, for example. Like there's people there who've done that. Now I think like the number when you're getting into the hundreds of platinums, it's getting harder to do that.
Yeah, I think at the like how many plans I have? 167. That took me 15 years. So I mean, I think I'd be okay. But then again, if I trophy hunt for another, say, 30 years into my golden years, I just can imagine like what's wrong with Granddad's walls? I'm a platinums boy.
we could go halves, or we could fund, like if we ever make
museum,
any money
the Platchums museum.
If we ever make any money on YouTube, we can funnel it all towards a 3D printer and just for the sole purpose of printing out our 3D platinum icons, and we can do it together.
What I'd love to do is in the Platchums museum, we'll make a mural of us but made out of all our platinums.
Yes. Yeah.
So when you stand aside, you see like us doing a high five.
This face, yeah.
And then like, your world record, first achiever. I can have like a bad photoshopped of me with my Fight Night Round 4 platinum, you know, getting pumped, just
world champion, like,
and you're like those
yeah.
like stories. It's like it was on day 4 that he finally met the middleweight champion online. Nate knew he had to take a shot, and he took it.
There's like there's like a diorama of when I called, you know, Bethesda support complaining that they deleted my.
Can you imagine
my
animatronic,
save?
really bad animatronic?
Dan complains to, you know, Bethesda support
with the real phone call.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll request it, Freedom of Information Act or something.
Just to get the phone call.
So yeah, there's so I think what we've kind of summed up is that there will be a Platchums museum, and we'll have a section on leaderboards in it.
And it'll be on the Strip in Vegas. Nice and classy, you know.
Where else?
With the neon sign, like just really grimy. And just my crusty old controllers just in a glass case. This is the controller. You can still see the sweat and tears on it from when he was trying to platinum Max Payne 3.
Yeah, or
well, in short, leaderboards, I never really cared much. Okay, just to reiterate, I think that they lost any sense of like validity in the wake of just an influx of really shit easy platinums. Sony kind of let the dog off the leash with that, but I do like having that as a little resource. So if I'm just kind of like, you know, if I sink a platinum, I'll go maybe see, oh, have I moved up? Okay, cool. But for me, I'm more like the stats guy. And I do think there are other websites out there, as you said, that kind of do stats either differently or somehow better. Like, I do agree with you. I think a rarity leaderboard is a must. I think to cut through the mustard, the mustard of shite.
The mayonnaise.
The mayonnaise, man. The stale, gone off mayonnaise. And as for things with, you know, getting like blacklisted from a leaderboard, I mean, if I happen to get removed from one, I don't think anything would change. I wouldn't really care. Now, luckily, I've nothing to hide, or do I? Just I get banned just immediately. I know. So, like, again, I'm not worried in the slightest, or I know I just wouldn't give a shit. And I do think an example, the fact that you get removed for something like GTA 5 as Joel did, it's just like it's all daftness anyway, because I'm just picturing like 5 or 6 mods on a website having some kind of tribunal going like next up, like the case of Guy Fieriski GTA. It's like Judge Judy kind of shit, really. You know, like it's kind of unimportant, and it's kind of a funny image. If you were saying like there's, you know, behind the scenes like going, you can't like ruin the validity of the leaderboard, man. This decision is against the rules. You're loose cannon, whatever his name is, like whitelisting this game, and then like they go back on it. It's just hilarious to me that that's a discussion that happened.
Yeah, it's just like peak power goes to people's heads, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, like
the smallest bit of power, and then you know, yeah. I don't know, like. You've hit it, you've said it in one, like, if what does the leaderboard even matter? And I think I liked Joel's approach to that, being just be like, oh, I got banned from the leaderboards, who cares, you know, which is kind of funny. But
and then he cried as soon as he finished recording the video.
Yeah. So I think the moral of the story is just, you know,
have fun with the games first and foremost. And if you're into the leaderboard, like, good for you, kind of thing, you know, have fun with it, you know. But let us know what you think of the leaderboard. If I've stepped on some toes, well, sure, look at.
We've made some enemies today.
We've made some enemies. The Mon team, they're gonna be going through our accounts with the finest tooth comb you've ever seen. They're gonna be up for 4 days straight trying to find something.
We'll both be flagged for like every game on our list tomorrow.
Just every single game. It's like, so you got the Red Dead 2 plat there in 2 years. It's a bit suspicious. It's a bit suspicious there. And what's that? You 3 months of grinding to rank up in GTA 5. Are you sticking to that? Are you sticking to that story? Yeah, well, look, we're welcoming the wrath of the PSN profiles.
Try me, bro.
Yeah, the tribunal.
Yeah.
Oh. It's like the Dr. Pepper ads. You remember, it's like, what's the worst that could happen? You just see me get arrested. It's like, so if we find an illegitimate trophy stamp on your account, you're going away for a long time, you bastard. It's like, aren't you that dude on the forum? Shut up.
Yeah, you're PSNP royalty. They can't touch you.
Oh no, I think I'm not nowhere near as active as I was. They'll be like, oh, that dude. We remember him. What became of him? No, he's in the PSN profiles prison, like PSN prison, like.
That's what the P stands for, like.
Yeah, the P stands for prison for crimes against the sacred leaderboard.
Yeah, no, this is the problem when we see a sneak peek behind the curtain of Platchums' production value. We never go in with an idea other than let's just talk about this, and this is the problem because we start off on something innocuous and then burn every bridge. Just throw people under the bus.
Platchums!
Oh god, we're definitely we need to keep an eye on our profiles, I think, for the next couple of days.
Let's not post this video.
Yeah, let's just not post it.
This is we're gonna have this on the Platchums after hours on a completely different website.
Just a different website. Yeah. Well, this is pure for Femio. This it's
Daily Motion.
And if we keep trying to fuck people over, it'll end up on Pornhub.
You can only find this video if you search for them Bing.
To be honest, after what we said, it's more duck duck go like.